to include all agricultural receipts as an exemption from the corporate activity tax. We testified multiple times before both the House, Senate, and joint committees. We were told to come back in 2020 when they'd be doing more of this substantive policy change, and you better bet we are. And we've been having consistent meetings on trying to organize and plan around that. And so, we're going for the complete exemption. We're also looking at many of those technical parts that Terry highlighted very well too, that are just wholly missing from the statute, that doesn't line up with how agriculture works. And then he also talked about the roadshow tours. That the last one was I think a week or two ago. The kind of the ag lobby group, we invited the rule makers to come, I think on Monday, and so we're going to we have an opportunity to engage directly with the rule makers as well. The timeline that we've heard is that it's going to kind of come out in 3 rule making phases: one in January, one in February, and one in March. And so that's going to be not only confusing, but the legislature is also going to do a 2020 short session technical fix bill, which they're relying on a lot of the rules to find those problems and fix them. Well, this is a short year legislation or legislative process. So the second or the third wave of rulemaking is going to be out by the time they're almost done. So there's a lot of complications with it. We are working pretty hard on it, and like I said, we're going for the full exemption. We have a whole list of technical works that we're also trying to put in that kind of keep us further. The bigger business community at large is also looking at different methods on relieving the burden, so raising it up to $250 or $2.5 million threshold, or $2 million threshold, looking at the rates, doing all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of work still going on, and this is going to be one of those topics that you will see every year, no matter what happens in the short session, the long session. Every year, I guarantee you that we're going to be engaging with this in some way, some manner or what way. If we get our complete exemption, it's going to be defending that exemption. If we don't, it's going to keep asking for it, or chipping away at these technicality parts of it. So this is something that you will always see in legislative updates, our call to actions, all those things. So with that, I think Sam can say some closing words too, but we just really appreciate you guys coming. Love your feedback. If you're not signed up for, I'll put a plug in for our Voter Voice where we send out all of our information. Make sure you guys sign up for that. It's, you get newsletters, you get legislative outreach, you get call to actions, things like that. We put quite a bit of traffic over it, so it's a good place for Farm Bureau information. But Sam, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah, so that's the end of our agenda today. Thank you all for coming. People drove far and just come here early and sit with us all day. We hope we provided you guys some helpful information, maybe got you guys thinking about things you haven't been thinking about. Hopefully it wasn't too terrifying for you. I'm sure it was in a little bit, but hopefully we did provide you some helpful information. Again, I will put a plug. If you guys like this, please go tell Dave. Go into his office and tell him. Send him an email. He left the room for this point, but go tell him. We want to keep doing this. Go back to your counties and talk about it. Ask what other subject matter you guys would be interested in learning about. We want to be more proactive. It's hard for us as staff to be in here and then reporting back to you guys after the fact. We think it's a value of your membership to help you guys get out in front of this stuff and to do some more proactive work. So we want to keep doing these if you guys want us to do that. So please provide that feedback, and thank you again so much for coming.